Well, the pigeons have come home to roost, haven't they? I've had a lovely time munching away over the last 2 weeks for Christmas and New Year, and now I'm facing the consequences. I'm actually really pleased with myself because I managed to rein it back in between Christmas and New Year, and I managed to have some really, really strict days, which I've never ever done before. Not quite sure how I managed it, but I did. I'm really glad I did, or I would be looking at probably a good 3/4 of a stone on. As it happens, I put on, I suspect, sort of around 5 or 6 pounds. I don't know exactly because I was too scared to get on the scales on the first day after. So what was that? The 2nd of January. I had my fast day, 2nd of January, and then I jumped on the scales after that. So I know that after then I put on 4 pounds. So what's really important, guys, is facing it and then dealing with it. Yes, I chose to eat way over what I should have eaten, and most people do. Christmas, New Year, let's be honest. It's an unusual person that doesn't. So it doesn't really matter so long as you deal with it. I'm going to give my poor old husband as an example here. He generally eats, obviously, as most people, on summer holidays a little bit more, and then will shift it, and then over Christmas puts on a little bit more and then shifts it, and kind of maintains himself that way. But last summer he didn't shift his summer weight, and then he went into Christmas having being a little bit overweight, and now he is facing probably about 1.5 stone to lose. And I don't want that creep for me. It's really important that whenever I do put on a little bit as part of my maintenance, I shift it straight away. So although there is a 2-year-old inside of me having a massive tantrum, particularly on the 2nd of January, where I really didn't want to do it. Of course, I wanted to carry on munching and having the chocolates and picking up, all the goodies that we've got. But what I want more is to stay slim. What I want more is to not allow that creep. So how do I do it? How did I, between Christmas and New Year, manage to rein it back? And it's the same argument, because what I wanted more was to not face 3/4 of a stone to shift now, but to just face a couple of pounds, which I know will go quite quickly. And that's what I wanted more than I wanted to just have the mindless munching. And now, so I've been 4 days back on. I'm on step 3 at the moment to just shift these few pounds off that I've put on off. How am I doing it? How am I staying on plan? And there is just one very simple answer to that, and that is I just decided to. And although that sounds really crazy, I just decided I had to do it. And I decided that I wanted to do it. I could, of course, over Christmas and New Year have carried on eating. But for me, the pain of facing the consequences of that this week was too great. I've done it. I've been maintaining 4 years now. For the last 3 Christmases, I've done that. I've eaten with abandon and without being aware, being conscious. I was conscious of the consequences, but without caring, I guess, about the consequences. That's what it was. Whereas this year, I cared about the consequences, and the pain of facing being back on step 2 for a month to shift whatever I put on. I just didn't want to do it. And so for me, it was worth reining it back in again between Christmas and New Year. And actually, it enabled me to relax and enjoy Christmas and New Year a little bit more, because I knew that I had some form of control going on. But it wasn't enough. I still ate way more than what I needed to, which is why I'm facing the 4 or 5, 6, whatever it was, pounds gain. But ultimately, I decided that that is what I wanted to do, and that it was much more important to me to shift those pounds rather than allow the creep up. And I just decided I've got to do it. I've got to do it, and I want to do it. I could easily have carried on eating. I could easily carry on eating now, but enough. enough. What I want to do is to shift those pounds and get myself back to the weight where I feel most comfortable. I've only put on a few pounds and I'm still a nice healthy BMI, but I do not want the danger of the creep to happen. I've seen it before with clients, sadly, who, oh, it's only a pound on this week. Oh, this week it's only £2 on. I'll get it off quickly enough, as maintainers, I mean. And before you know it, you're looking at a stone on, and that feels, whoa, that's not just a couple of pounds, and that feels slightly more overwhelming, and I don't want to be in that place. So if you're struggling to get back on plan after your Christmas successes, what you need to do is just make a decision to just do it. Just do it. Just decide, no, from this moment I'm going to be back on plan. And then be really, really clear about your reasons for doing it. I talk about this loads and loads and loads with you all, but to have a really strong, exciting, emotionally filled, important to you reason for doing this, that is what will get you to stay on plan. If that is important enough and strong enough and just exciting enough for you, then you'll do it. Of course you will. So me, what I'm doing now is I'm focusing very much on my birthday, which is in February, and I'm thinking, okay, in February I want to wear a new dress, and I don't want to waste my money on a size 12, which if I don't deal with this, I'll probably have to get. I want to be in a size 8 or 10. That's what I want. I want to buy a dress that I can wear again, and not every time I get it think, that was the dress that I settled for when I really wanted an 8 or 10. I'm anticipating what that dress is going to be. I'm anticipating walking into the restaurant with Bruce, my husband, and feeling really fantastic, and having his admiring glances, maybe other people's admiring glances, who knows, but just feeling really great in myself. I want to feel great in myself, and I don't want to carry on feeling that anxiety and I'm not in control. So keep on focusing, guys. Just make a decision. Just do it. Just decide to do it, and then really, really focus on why you're doing it. And if you get that right, you'll be absolutely fine. Good luck, everyone.